Hello everyone, how are you doing? My name is Mayel, but you can call me May, and I'm here really happy to talk to you about our Sabbath lessons. Today we spend actually the week study the lesson number 10 with the title of Secrets of Success. This quarter we have been studying about David's life, and this week's lesson won't be any different. We will see his life as a king and how his kingdom was really successful and why he was successful as a king. And we will study now, and we will start mentioning the book of Psalm chapter 85 verse 9, who says as it follows: surely his salvation is nigh, them that fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. So basically, when we read this verse, we understand that David understood the secret of success, and he applied it in his life. And when he says about salvation being near, he means that the salvation is close to those who put his life close to God, and the glory dwell in our land, which means that the glory kind of transcends the individual and can be seen by others. And that's actually what happened with David, and he is a testimony to that, and it's amazing. And we will also read Prophets and Kings, page 466, that says, it was regard for the law of God that gave Israel strength during the reign of David. So like I said before, David understood that the secret of success. We will see a little bit of some other secrets that he applied in his life, but his main focus was to obey God's law and to introduce him to the people around him, and that proved to be the right decision he made. And we will see why during the topics and comment more about it, but it's really interesting to keep it in mind. So Sunday we have the first topic, which the title, a promise keeper. And the question A, give an example revealing David's fidelity and justice. When we read 2 Samuel, we see in a basic way that David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. And this verse is really simple, it's short, and may not give much context, but we are also presented to his relationship with Mephibosheth, that for those who don't know, he was the son, Jonathan's son. And for those who don't remember, or for those who actually remember, and since this story is really important, basically David and Jonathan were best friends, and they made an alliance, which Jonathan made David promise him that he would keep up, take care of his legacy. And David remembered that promise, and he fulfilled it with Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth, we can read in Patriarchs and Prophets that Mephibosheth, he had been lame from childhood, and at the time of Saul's defeat by the Philistines at Jezreel, the nurse of this child, attempting to flee with him, had let him fall, thus making him a lifelong cripple. And David now summoned the young man to court and received him with great kindness. And with that, we see how David didn't do it because he wanted to take advantage of Mephibosheth. On the contrary, actually, he did it because he wanted to keep his promise, and he gave a huge value towards Saul and towards Jonathan, his friend, and his legacy, his children, and the ones that actually survived. And he did his best to fulfill this promise and to keep Mephibosheth close to him, even they weren't related actually. And the question B: what missionary lesson can we learn from how David was able to touch the heart of this skeptical grandson of Saul? Just a little reminder, I'm not a native English speaker, so I want to apologize for any mistakes just beforehand. I forgot to do it before, but yeah, keeping up with the study. When we read this question, we see that Mephibosheth's reaction to David's goodwill and his kindness wasn't appreciated. And we also read in Patriarchs and Prophets that Mephibosheth, he had a strong prejudice against David, and he saw David as an usurper. And he thought, okay, because of him, my grandfather couldn't be the king, and he died, and my father was the second one on the throne, but he died as well, and it's all David's fault. That was what Mephibosheth thought of him. But David, when we read the verses and we read the notes, we see that David, he was generous and he was courteous, and he had this such a sweet reception towards Mephibosheth, and he continued to show him kindness, and he ended up winning the heart of the young man. And this brings a lesson for us today, because as we can read on Christ's object lessons, in tender pitying love, lay hold of the discouraged and helpless ones. Give them your courage, your hope, your strength. By kindness, compel them to come. So we see that as a lesson for us, because we feel compelled to talk about God's love and to talk about Jesus to others, but most of the time the people's reception is really indifferent or can be negative, and this can bring us a bad spirit, and sometimes we can think that person shouldn't receive our sympathy, and we will never talk with that person again. But like this sentence I read should be applied into my life, into our lives, in the sense that we should really have kindness to others. Sometimes we don't know what other peoples are going through, and we are really quick to judge and to be bad, to react badly with those people. But we really need to try with those people, and even if they don't treat us well, if their action towards us is negative, we need to show hope and courage and good thoughts, and show that we can make a difference. So that was it for Sunday topic. We will come back shortly to talk about the other ones, and I wish you a good day, a good evening, and that God may bless your life.